Hello, lurkers, and hello, all you archaeologists. I'm the John Struct, and I'm having hang on, how do I pronounce this? Tsukihame no Kamen adventure. I'm playing Fatal Frame 4. No, there's egg fried rice is the spookiest of meals, because you're like, what does egg fried even mean? Like, that's spooky. There's a mystery there. Like, surely you boil rice and you fry an egg. How have you combined those two different things? They're totally spooky. Okay, let's see if we can top that for spookiness. You've put a red face as well, and that is also spooky. Right. I'm going to press the button, or will I? Okay, I'm also going to move swiftly on from the gimmick of just questioning everything I do. Or am I going to do... Okay. Let's load our game. Oh, I see what's happened. Oh no, there's brackets on that word. But yeah, they're not aligned slightly correctly, are they? So what happens is everyone disappears immediately before, like, action happens in these games. Which is perhaps an indication that I should start slightly earlier. Or that I should get stuck for less time. Although the last chapter was like, hey, have you tried this random door? No? Well, you're all out of luck, sunshine. Chapter 3, The Forgotten Day. Choushiro Kirishima, a private detective, awakens. He finds himself in front of the Haibara hospital. Kirishima remembers that, he's not forgotten that much then, that he was asked by Ruko's mother, Sayaka, to help Ruka, who's come to the island 10 years ago, in the case of 5 girls being kidnapped on the island. It's not the best name for a case, but he had rescued Ruka at her behest. Searching for Ruka, Kirishima stands before the hospital and sees a form of Yu Haibara, a murder suspect that he's been chasing on the mainland. Yo was the son of Shigeto Haibara, director of Haibara Hospital, and a man of power on the island. Yu Haibara was clearly connected to the incident in which a group of girls were kidnapped and later discovered in the basement of the hospital. So I'm going to make it... in Disco Elysium, they name the cases, and like it's like an art form between police officers to be able to name cases in such a way that it's like succinct and I mean, this is translated, so obviously there might be issues there anyway, but you know what I mean. However, at the time, Yu Haibara couldn't be found, so he escaped. After Kirishima left his job as a detective, he continued to chase Yu Haibara. Maybe Ruka's also. I feel like we need more of that thought for me to understand. Kirishima thinks that this is related to the kidnapping incident 10 years ago, and returns to where he discovered the 5 girls, including Ruka. Okay, so we have traded in our camera without suffering for a torch. A magic torch, but a torch nonetheless. Ruka isn't here. Didn't the elevator bell go off? Right, we have something extra. Let us remind ourselves how we actually play this game. I can't remember what that does. Let's look it up. Doesn't help that obviously different people play subtly different. So equipment. Enhanced lenses. That is... Okay, so that is the non-damaging photographs. Which is pretty, you know, that's a pretty cool torch. I can do that. We have a lot of blue crystals. So... I don't know what that means. Capacity, charge. Yeah, sure. That'll do. I don't know if he shares with other people. So there was something in the files as well, wasn't there? Ooh. Thank you for the subscribing, Idness, brother. How are you? How's your schoolwork? I've acknowledged the transaction. I said hello. This message keeps popping up. Oh, I see. I see what you did there. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. See, I'm less generous than you two. So I forgot that when you do that, sometimes it doesn't do it straight away until you click a button. In my defense, people keep buying stuff for me, which means I can't buy them for myself. And there's no way to pay that forwards. Oh, no, because if you pay it forwards, then you don't get to press the button either. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, I cannot remember what I just picked up. It doesn't normally, like, tell me I picked up something. Maybe it's in the hints. Ugh. Oh, well, it's got... there's no way of me knowing what it was. I couldn't possibly just look the footage back up. It was something, wasn't it? Oh, it might be in the notebook. Ah! Kidnapping case. Director's involvement. There we go. The girls were discovered in a location connected to the laboratory. Okay, I guess we should go there. The director denied being the mastermind, but not participation. But what for? Okay. Now let us walk around. There's Choushiro. We are underground, I believe. We can do like cool action shot and that. I don't even need to be facing the direction I'm shining my torch. It's just how cool I am. There is a small shrine set into the cave wall. Is there something else there? Yes, there was. Okay, Kirishima. As long as the ghosts are walking quite timidly, we should be fine. We probably want to turn it to that one so I can quickly get ghosts. Okay, it looks like he has his own set of stuff. Yeah, it's frustrating being inconsistent with things. The game's probably going to tell me that he's too tall to go through there, even though he sealed by a strong force. Oh, never mind. It's the lift. Presumably we came down the lift. There was no response. Oh, hang on. What am I doing? Turning around like a scrub. I've got the ability to do that. It'd be nice to see all your homework pay off. The store. I don't remember this being here. Looks very old. Back when I found Ruka here, maybe I just didn't notice it. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. I'd barely recognise it. A building you went in once 5 years ago, I don't think I'd remember at all. Is this the wine cellar? Have we walked into Vagrant Story? Speaking of Vagrant Story, until I find something to do in this game, because a lot of the game you spend, crafting, and I did look something up. What that game badly needs is a quick swap button, and it does not exist. You have to click like 7 times if you want to switch weapons, and you're gonna have to do it a lot. But like what I looked up is, you shouldn't have a weapon for each creature type. You should have a weapon for like pierce, blunt damage, and cutting damage, I think it is. Because that's more, apparently more important. The gap is too narrow. I think it might collapse if I try, so it's impossible to get through. But there is a shiny thing there. Scribbled notes. Oh, also, there was a tape. Why didn't I read the tape? I don't want to die here. I heard a legend about the coming of the day without suffering. A legend which says that those who hide here are the only ones that will survive. That legend was passed down by the people who own this building. Someone performed it. The ceremony of passage. That woman had come. The woman's blooming, even. I saw her face. Warped, crushed, twisted, and pure. I saw her face. Blooming face. Warped, crushed, blooming, twisted, bop it, twist it, turn it, bop it. Blooming, impure. It's the end. Blooming. Technologic. That was way too short. Also, that is not a friendly ghost. Okay. Okay. Shop. He should buy more herbal medicine. Okay, we have plenty of herbal medicine. This game is perhaps a tiny bit too generous. Technologic. I'm just walking back and forth between two places. I just want to double check this way. Keep that door open. Okay, fair enough. The tip. I guess no. We did. Was it that? I thought it was. Oh, it's new.
9月29日、駐在所。病院の関係者から少女たちについて垂れ込み、もう一度灰原病院内を捜索する。9月29日、灰原病院。病院の地下2階で少女たちを発見。5人とも無事。しかし、あれは俺の見間違いなのだろうか。少女たちの顔がキライ子。キライ子。またか。どういう意味なんだ。
I've been playing a bit of what's it called? Ayuden Chronicle Rising, which is like the prequel game to 100 Heroes. I'm guessing like a bonus game that came with it, but it's on Game Pass, so I could just play it. It's okay. It's a little side-scroller jumper thing where you just do fetch quests for like 100 different townsfolk. It's an interesting concept, I guess, but there's a lot of talking in the game. You spend like 10 minutes talking, then you run into a field, hit 4 things, then immediately come back for 10 minutes more talking. This leads to the director's office. He must be involved in the kidnappings. Good work, detective. How do you know where it leads? I cannot remember what the moon means in the bottom right hand corner. It stopped. Nurse before morgue. Also, I only actually need the camera for dolls. Right. It's a very well maintained candle. Is this some kind of... it's a death certificate for Tomoko Hinuma. Is this some kind of connection with corpses? Autopsy result. Cause of death, drowning. Discovered floating in the Rogetsu Hall pool by a nurse. She'd already entered into cardiac arrest when she was discovered. On the night of the Kagura, there were reports of confusion at the time of Tsubaki's Tono fell unconscious. The Lunar Sedata crisis began on the night of the Kagura. Kagura is like a mask festival they do. A scrawled note was found. It appears to be a suicide note, a typical example of returning to normal after losing oneself within the Kagura. Traces of budding. The face was removed from the body. It appears to be a corpse covered by multiple pieces of cloth placed onto the face. Is the same type of mask that can be found all around this building. Now, well into that mask. Must have been my imagination. Oh. Red crystal. Ah, fuck up. Okay, incomplete documents. There was a slip of paper in the garbage bag. There are deficiencies in the records of the recent deaths. Do you mean inconsistencies? Regarding designated records, incineration must be carried out immediately. Please use the incinerator in the backyard of the old building. It's interesting that you highlighted old but not building for this purpose. I've got the back door key, and it reads back door, and you're going to show me where the back door is. Cool, where am I in relation to this? Oh, it's on the way to the cemetery. Very spooky. Oh, something else went. That. Grab. Tsubaki's Tono. Performed as Utsawa of the Rogetsu Kagura's dance. Collapsed during the middle of the dance. Cause unknown. According to testimonies, by the time the crowd had reached her, she was already dead. Autopsy results do not indicate any external injuries or diseases. There was suspected heart attack, but this has not yet been confirmed as the cause. We cannot determine the condition of her face. The cause for this is unknown. Simultaneous deaths of the Shrine Maidens did the ceremony of the Passage Impact Festival. Okay, so, brother, if the face thing happens in all the games, is this the same thing then, or is that just a ghost face shenanigans happen? You know, ghosts like face shenanigans. Was it caused by the mask which was used? Usage of the masks has long been taboo. I've added it to the handbook. Does only he get the handbook? That would explain why it didn't crop up. Found a tape. Okay. Records.
9月17日、同月代、カグナが中断した。巫女が倒れて、今騒ぎになっている。気概？何のことだ。9月17日、同月代。祭りの中に灰原は発見できず、神楽の間はこの建物は締め切られ、誰も出入りできない。俺の勘が外れたか。しかしこの島のどこかに潜伏している可能性もある。明日から調査を始める。小さな島だ。灰原が来ていれば必ず後を残すはずだ。9月17日、灰原病院。巫女はすでに心肺停止状態。原因不明の突然死と診断されている。9月17日、灰原病院、霊安室。この島では死者に仮面をつける風習があるらしい。ここはあんまり気持ちのいいものじゃないな。見ない方が良いと言われたが、本人か確認するため仮面を取ってもらうことにする。顔がわからない状態。何があった？写真を撮っておく。博多から本人と確認。
So I shouldn't be dwelling on this, but like, I still don't understand how this place has a thriving tourism industry. Like, they have a sketchy festival where at least some people die like once every 4 years. Like, why even bring up that there's tourists? Like, Edward Woodward didn't have to deal with tourism when he went to visit Christopher Lee in that place with the giant burning man. You know, in the Radiohead Burn the Witch video. Like, they didn't have tourists. They had a kind of fuck off-ness about them, about strangers. But, like, they specifically go out their way to say, like, no, strangers come. We've got leaflets. It's like, come, once every 4 years, a sketchy dance happens. I mean, presumably people don't die every time, but like, the festival literally is about it. Like, they're connected. It's an important festival. if they ever remade Realms of the Haunting, I would like for them to include the furry dance in it, and just make it as spooky as possible. Obviously it's not spooky because Helston, modern day Helston, isn't a spooky place in the slightest. But you know, it's fiction. It's fine. Nobody needs to know what Helston's actually like. But well, I'm gonna check a map. It is the one door out. Alright, buddy, I'm gonna need you to react slightly faster. Oh god! Okay, I understand what a chain means now. I can't remember what the Helston Festival's called. The Wikipedia page says it's the furry dance, which is quite funny because obviously furry means something very different nowadays. But yeah, that is a legitimate plot point in Realms of the Haunting. I mean, it's not a plot point, it's lore. If you read the newspapers on the wall in one room, it talks about pirate coves, which is never brought up again in the game. It talks about UFO crop circles, and it talks about Helston, whatever that Floridae. Is it Floridae? That's it. But they don't use Floridae because, you know, that's not as scary as going to the old name. Where am I going? I should follow the ghost, shouldn't I? Some ghosts we're supposed to follow, and some ghosts we're meant to run away from. Especially if it's a beckoning nurse. No harm ever came from following a beckoning nurse. Especially a dead one. Nothing happened. How can I turn on the power? Oh. Now I have to make sure. A real picture. A device somewhere. I know where that is, don't I? It appeared. It's a dark room, some sort of electrical device is visible on the wall. Make sure that this is off. Like a map. I will, of course, play Realms of the Haunting one day. Not yet, though. Which door have we not gone through recently? I said I knew where that was. I was lying. I don't know where that was. Ooh. Oh, shenanigans! I declare shenanigans. I definitely got the torch out in time for the Peekaboo Ghost. It seems like I'm in the correct place. Come a little bit closer. Oh, there he is. Oh, I got a double kill. Interesting phrasing. One of these things. Is it this one? No. I wonder what this room is. Construction Workers' Journal. Our work was temporarily halted. Some of the tunnels known to be beneath the island were found, and this has stopped our expansion. When this hospital was first built, the director's office was put in the basement. What did the director think when they hit these tunnels? On this island, been a cultural taboo for a long time. Was it because of these tunnels? One of the tunnels, I noticed that the moonlight was filtering from... The writing on the page has been interrupted. Moon. Silly ghosts. No bother this time of year. Ooh. Was that a hanging person? Oh, hang on. Oh, no. Oh, look, you're up there. That's a photograph, John. Oh, get off. You ready, ceiling ghost? I don't want to die, so I shall have some of this herbal medicine. Okay, I don't like the baby crying noises. Less of that, thank you very much. Alright. Okay, cool. Okay, am I just taking too long? Bloody ghosts keep turning up. Not this. I'm looking for a control panel. Yes, I do see the doll. There's another spooky face. I'm not sure it was a good idea to bake in a reward system for finding spooky faces. In horror games, you're supposed to be avoiding spooky faces. Sort of seems counterintuitive. Like, I've been trained to go, ooh, spooky doll. She's going to do a spooky face. And I will be rewarded with points and safety. I mean, I guess I'll go in here. I don't know why I went in there. I mean, I guess we can save our game. So, brother, do you know when you're going to go back to Elden Ring? I can't remember where you were. Oh, relatively early, I think. Halfway through or something. Control panel on here. There's only a small area. It's literally the room you came from, John. Stop pressing that. I'm super confused. Okay, let's go back in that room. It's like didn't serve a purpose and had loads of ghosts in. There's got to be a reason why. I must have just missed it. Some kind of peephole. One button. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I just didn't go down there. Beep, boop, boop, beep. Sorry about that. Made a bit of a meal out of that. To the lift. Check them out. Damn it, I was going the right way. I should have been confident in myself. Not the lift, whatever this is. The stairs. Oh yeah, I still have to play Silent Hill 2 at some point. Pick up the shiny things first. Special examination schedule. As planned, the next 5 patients related to the special examination have been arranged. Examination will take place in the director's office. Limited access is essential. It's 310, 8 and 203 is Misaki, Ruka and Madoka, and the outpatients are Marie and Tamai. At the end, a hurriedly scribbled memo is attached. Today's choice for Kagura Kanade was bad. Without them, it would be just an ordinary festival. In previous ceremonies of passage, there was much scrutiny over the choice of Kanade. A pure, obedient, sensitive maiden, the mask of the music easily devours these maidens. I hear it's a similar way to how popes are chosen. By nature of the festival decides a community... What? By nature, the festival decides a community's fate, and we must embrace the seriousness and responsibility of the ritual. We must have the perfection in the selection. It's weird that that rhymed. Even if that means there must be delays in choosing. Preparator has been added. Like it was some sort of boxing mantra. We should go through this door first. It's Yuhabara, viewing books. Decorative carving on the shelf. Letter from Soria Yamotsuke. Yeah, that word there, that I could not pronounce. After a long time, I finally completed the Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. It's taken me a while as well, like a couple of months at least. I finally I poured my heart and soul into it, and it gave me my everything. Yeah, I think it's been okay. My spirit is exhausted. I want to thank you for your help. Lost documents of the ceremony of passage were restored, and techniques became clear. Above all, I studied the blade. Above all, I studied the paints that are the key to the mysterious Mask of the Lunar Eclipse and gathered all that were necessary. You will surely see the results you wished for at this ceremony, and the true Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is complete. The true Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is by no means the same as the abominable Mask of Legend. It will not create the evil day without suffering. The catastrophe was caused... it's one of those bloody catastrophes. Because the Mask of the Lunar Eclipse was made by Soetsu was incomplete. Soetsu wrote that this mask will open the gate to the afterlife. Your implacably bore fruit? I think that's you. Somebody auto-corrected you. Yeah, they did. Okay, I must endeavour to protect the mask till Rogetsu Kagura. I will not be present for the ceremony of passage. but I will be praying for its success. So, yeah, Yamotsuki. So, yeah. Another note. The day of the Kagura nears. The Rogetsu Kagura dance will probably once again overflow with guests. Tourists are coming again. The Kagura dance spreads Rogetsu Island name and brought in revenue. Lately, preparations below have not been advancing. You probably... pardon? You have spoken to all of the Kanade, and the true mask of the lunar eclipse is complete. We must resurrect the ceremony of passage. The mask of the lunar eclipse, which I will now henceforth call the mask, made the shrine maiden bloom, and she began to destroy the island. Assuming the day without suffering had arrived, people feared and detested the ritual. But as for the true mask, in the ceremony, the Atsoa, it may cure my daughter's illness. I tried combining daughter and illness, and no, don't do that. The mask is my final move in treating Lunar Siddhartha syndrome in the Rogetsu Kagura. The Atsoa loses her own sense of self within the mask, and the mask erases all their memories. They are brought to that essential place. Once there, their self returns and floods into them. If the ceremony of passage is successful, the long battle with Lunar Siddhartha syndrome will end. My wife thought the sickness of our daughter was her fault, took her own life. I have waited a long time from that day. Perhaps I won't have to look at my daughter's unhappy face anymore. Result of this research, I dedicated to my late wife. We'll look at the handbook later, I think. I'm glad he knew there was a secret way there. I mean, we've been here before. It just seems slightly different. I still want to double check something. Because that takes me to the graveyard, which is where the key is needed. Just want to check this door here. Testance Note 4. The Lunar Eclipse. The ceremony of the passage is nearing. The only tradition which remains from olden days is the old form of the Rogetsu Kagura dance. The song pours from the masked Kanade. The souls of the dead enter the Atsoa, the primordial dance that releases these. It's called the Ceremony of Passage. The director said preparations have been made for the stage in the underground Lunar Hall, but the performing handmaiden song, chime, flute, drum, strings, are those 5 Kanade the same? The dancer, is she really a vessel? And what of the Ceremony of Passage in the midst of the Rogetsu Kagura dance? I can't get rid of this anxiety I have. Know the feeling, buddy. But I am beginning to become strongly drawn to the Ceremony of Passage. It's because I saw the mask of the lunar eclipse. That mask, the soft smile on the brink of tears, the instant anger visible over fading death, the manic feeling when seeing that mask. I still want to see the dance using this mask. No, even if I want to be in it myself, it's too late to turn back. Old books and documents. Seems to be a file on diagnosis and treatment. Other things. Spooky doll. Spooky doll thinks this is all very amusing. Right, now let's go underground. Huh. You know there's nothing spooky behind the store. You've opened it already. You should only do that once. Unless this is a longer... Perhaps I needed a camera that time. Girl's condition is extremely unstable. After the interruption of the ceremony of passage, they could not withstand the mental and physical shock. Their memories and emotions are like sheets of blank paper. If the proper medication and treatment are administered, it may be able to stop the condition. However, it is quite rare for this to succeed. I had some enchiladas yesterday. I found where Tesco's were hiding them. It is necessary to observe the progress and investigate the influence of the ceremony. This data may be useful in the treatment of Sayaka, who was moved to the Mourning Palace. So, sorry, I skipped through a bunch of stuff then. Surgical equipment such as syringes, forceps, scalpels are arranged on the instrument. Not a hole. That's a puddle, I think. Continue downwards. It's firmly closed. There's been a cave-in. Yeah, where am I going in? This isn't right. The elevator, I guess. No, I can't go in the elevator. The door's closed. Just establish that. Where did I come from? Guess upstairs. Ah, you know what? I was actually closer to the being right the first time round. We gained some additional nets though. Sorry, Ghost. Doesn't count, probably because I've seen it already. Spooky poster. Consult the map. We can save our game. Let's do that. It's a beckoning nurse. Come to reprise her role. Not before I've saved. Think find. That one. This way, I believe. We'll double check. It was the correct way. Should have trusted in my instincts. This light is not on. This little light of mine. It's causing a shadow. Well, shadows are kind of suitable for a game like this. I still don't want it. I want my well-defined border, thank you very much. Less of that flickering, thank you very much. I'm not being super thorough with these rooms now. Because I have a specific destination in mind. And I would have searched these when I was this dude last time. And yes, they do add things, but we're not in any risk of dying. As far as I know. I believe that was the beckoning nurse again. I used the back door key. We have made tangible progress. In a game all about intangible beings. I have another save point. So I can save a record of my tangible progress. Full of intangible beings. The discarded documents, maybe not everything was burned. Okay, but I want this shiny thing first. Grab that shiny... Oh, hang on. Do our squats for the day. Wonderful. Gotta feel the burn, you know. About film incineration. A film record of the Rogetsu Kagura must still be burned. No other records of the dance have ever been recorded or stored before. But this film is strange. At first I thought the film was damaged. However, I confirmed that when I watched it one more time I could see clearly. I would see a woman that I had not seen when I was there in person. She seemed to be dancing. I also saw a nurse mixing together somehow. But then I saw a woman much more clearly. Gradually the woman fades. When I realised what was occurring, I couldn't believe myself. I refused to think of it. No more footage should be taken ever for the verification. Already I am reluctant to be near this film. Without waiting for the director's instructions, I'll use the incinerator at back. I don't think any journalist could bring themselves to burn like, this film's clearly cursed. Oh, I can't share it. You know, it's a lot to ask them. I'll just put it on YouTube first, then I'll burn it. Bundle of half-burned letters, tightly bound pile of letters left at the bottom. These are addressed to me. Kirishima, seems you've also come to the island for work. I've come to Rugetsu Island to focus on studying its society. Fucking 27 pages, strap in. The culture of this island is interesting. It really stands out with its originality. The purpose of my latest research is in this island's mask. It is known that the mask is related to the island's religion. However, there are still many mysteries. This is the year the Kagura dance, which occurs every decade. Decade? I said 4 years earlier. No. Tourism season happens once a decade. There is still a weird shadow. Stop moping, light source, and light my shadow. If all goes well, did I read that? Many masks are made for the Kagura. If all goes well, I may be able to visit the actual place where the island's masks are made. I think I'm going to stay on the island for a while. Remember my little sister, is it Iori? She's also with me. Because Iori or Yori. I'm looking forward to this mysterious Kagura. It's completely adapted for tourists. See, I wasn't joking about like its connection with tourism. Yori wants to meet you and have a drink together. Together. Oh, brother, it's not that far, so he doesn't know what I mean when I say together. But everyone else in the goddamn world will. When you come to the island, it's unusual to be family. It's unusual that the natives of the island don't traditionally consume large quantities of alcohol. Kusanagi, University Assistant Professor Takashi Aiba. First of all, the Kagura mask is a part of the ceremony believed to represent God. Traditionally, the form of God for the coming year is unified with the current God during the Kagura dance. However, Rugetsu Island mask is not the face of God. First of all, this island does not believe in God. Recently, it became known as the Rugetsu Kagura dance. However, it was formerly known as the Ceremony of Passage. The name takes its meaning from an old word which talks of the return of the dead. I think that since the masks are put on faces of the dead, the island's mask perhaps imitates the dead, covering the faces of the dead with masks, dancing. These customs are rarely ever seen. The mask is a form of death on the island, or perhaps in the form of the dead. If you imagine an unchanging dead face, could this eternal face be the true representation of the island's mask? Did the mask used in the ceremony of passage have some kind of unique role in the ritual? That was the mask worn by the Utsuwa. The Utsuwa mask was made before the other Kagura masks. The other Kagura masks have different origins. Even among those, I was struck by the prominent presence of the imitation of the lunar eclipse made by Soetsu Yamotsuki, the mask of the lunar eclipse. However, the island fell into ruin when the shrine maiden wearing the mask bloomed. After this, its existence became taboo on the island, and even mentioning it is frowning upon. The mask-making techniques of Soetsu's era were lost as a result of the disaster that once occurred. However, other than that, we know nothing of the jet black mask. Now, Soya is trying to revive the ancient mask-making techniques of Soetsu's era. Just maybe a part of the mask. I was told that my sister has a mild case of lunar sedan. Just a mild case of spooky illness. After watching the Rugetsu Kagura, she might get better. Even so, she'll briefly be hospitalized here. Extended hospitalization, apparently I can't say that word, was discussed only as an extreme and unlikely option. I will continue the research on the masks. I did come back to the visit, but a black mask. At the time, I was dead at the time. At the time when the dead return, the dead are all the same formless spirits. I cannot imagine the purpose of this mask. What sort of ritual is it that's just summoning spirits back from the dead? Yeah, what sort of... Oh, it's a crazy ritual. Its peaceful smile is like a Buddha statue. However, Buddha statues do not share the primitive sense of emptiness in this mask. I don't know. You'd need to find some cheaper Buddha statues, mate. I bet you could find some. I believe before that they were speaking of death with this mask, but now, find like a pound shop Buddha mask. You'll find plenty of emptiness. It may be that it isn't death, but something else. When I see it, drags me deep into the bottom of deep nothingness. Or mu. Is that mu? Is in MU? The feeling of dreadful relief floods into me. It's so beautiful. Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. Probably worked better with not the English writing. Even though my eyes were crushed, I still looked. I saw it. It's beautiful. Right, I don't want to read that again, so let's save that I read that. That's my nose. We've got a lot of stuff in the handbook. It's beckoning nurse 4. It's the same one. It's just the one nurse actually. Going towards the graveyard. Well, we keep the dead, I believe. Beckoning Nurse 5. The difficult sequel. I would see Beckoning Nurse 5, but I've not seen Beckoning Nurse 1 to 4 yet. They rival the Rocky series in many ways. Beckoning Nurse 4, not as good as Beckoning Nurse 1 and 2, but much better than Beckoning Nurse 5, let me tell you. Tommy Gunn is nobody's favourite Beckoning Nurse character. That was a reference to the villain from Rocky 5. Or am I thinking of... No, that's Rocky 5. Ooh, chain. Because it's Apollo Creed, the Russian dude. Hang on. No, I've got it wrong. Apollo Creed, B.A. Baracus, the Russian dude, Tommy Gunn. And obviously, I don't really... the other ones after that. A different era. What am I looking for? Equipment. Extends the amount of time available between changed shots. Don't really need that. I think I'll keep the red crystals. Yeah, I'll regret it later. Dolph Lundgren, but I don't remember the name of the character. Ivan. It's Ivan something. I see you, you cheeky chappy. Oh, you've gone. Wait, what? I was gonna say, that's definitely new. Or do I need it not in this mode? Has somebody else been here? Oh, wait, no. Oh, and I forgot Thunderlips. I can't remember which movie Thunderlips is from. He's not like the main villain though, is he? He's just like an early on one. I'm guessing Thunderlips is from Rocky 2. I don't know if I've seen Rocky 2. I've not seen any of them in literally decades. Okay, I'm expecting ghost shenanigans during this walk back in. Something also just made a noise. No, it must be Rocky 3. It must be the same one with... Yeah. Because Thunderlips and B.A. Baracus must... B.A. Baracus is his name in the A-Team, isn't it? Clubber Lang. There we go. I know my Rocky lore. Apparently. For some reason. You know, up till 5. Well, we can save a game. No, you must not leave the path. Perhaps there's something we missed. Somebody's left a lone flip-flop. No, they haven't. Oh, I guess this is where they take them off to come in. Left in a hurry and never retrieved their flip-flops. Broken shelves. Broken dreams. What am I doing? There must be some reason I went outside. Yeah, you did. You got the notes. But did the notes tell me to go somewhere? I'm reading them all again. Nothing in red. I assume it's like Ivan Dragov? Garbage bag is inside a rusty incinerator. Whenever I was going to say Russian, but anyone vaguely Eastern European turns up in WWE. It's always a basically an Ivan Dragov impression. It's very weird. Like, I guess it'd be somewhat relevant now, but it cropped up plenty of times when it wouldn't have been relevant in the slightest. Somebody in the WWF, I suspect Triple H. Really big fan of Rocky IV, apparently. Climb up! I think these are graves, but still. Isn't it tempting? Let's take a picture of the moon. What? This wasn't here a second ago. It must have been her. Oh, hang on. Let's get my squats in for the day. His knees are evidently better than mine. Sorry about that. It's Sabaki Tono's diary. I came to this island upon Uncle's recommendation. Although I was scared at first, I'm very grateful now. The people at the hospital and the islanders were very kind and told me all kinds of things. This year, a festival done every once in a decade called the Rogetsu Kagura will be held. The role of the Utsuwa maiden is to dance in the ceremony, seemingly lifted up by God in the dance, and I was a little surprised to find out that the islanders had recommended me. Still, the role of the Utsuwa has a rich and beautiful feeling to it, and it was just right for a person around my age, so I decided to accept. I guess the implication is like this has been going on for a while, but again, once a decade, stop. There can't have been too many instances of this. To be able to participate in this island's ancient festival is a great honour, and best of all, I think it will be a wonderful opportunity to convey my gratitude. It seems that from now on, I'll need to undergo some sort of purification training involving masks. That'd be pretty weird. Hey, do you want to be in our festival? You're just going to do like a dance or something. Yeah, cool. Okay, you've just got to undertake some sort of purification training. I beg your pardon. What does that entail? What does that entail? What does that entail? Undertake, entail, I combine the two, made a computer game. Apparently somebody's already made that computer game though, so... yeah. My role is my duty. And I got blackened film. Hello. Lies. I got that. Lies.